Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hello, my name is Barbara J. Beckley, and you are at the Coaches Lounge, the wonderful signature show that I created to make sure that coaches, authors, speakers, anybody that's really helping people move the needle in their life, mentors, educators, that hasn't really received the light to show their light. They show everybody's light. They help everybody else's light. They just be there for them, just cheering them on, tell them what they need to do, give them suggestions and everything. Life, just life and life with them. But most of the time, sometimes they don't get that person to say, turn around and say, you know what? Let me give you the spotlight. Let me make sure that you're getting what your needs are, your gifts that you're giving out to others to make them up, the ladder. So I created the Coaches Lounge because I wanted to make sure that you get to meet different coaches, different mentors, not just to understand what they do in their personality and how they are, but you never know. You might hear a coach say, I think I need to talk to that person. I think that person's the right fit for me. Because one thing I always tell people, everyone needs a coach. Everybody. If Oprah has a coach, if people have coaches, and they got more than one, then why don't you have one to make sure that you're doing what you need to do? Not saying that you might not do it, but you never know. You might need to, little here, a little tweak there. We're always forever learning. So you always need that. So today I have a wonderful, amazing person that's going to be coming on. We're going to be talking to. And usually when I have women come on, I call them queens because I look at us as all royalty. So now I have a king coming in the house. His name is King Sebastian, and I'm just so excited to have him. I'm telling you, first of all, he is in my lane. He is directly in my lane. I always ask people, what would you name this show if you wanted to name it? And he said, public speaking as a tool to enhance your visibility. That is like, yes. I mean, you have to open your mouth in order to get visibility, and he understands that. So what he basically does, he's a part of an own SpeakUp Express that helps professionals and inspiring leaders build confidence and visibility through impactful public speaking. He coaches individuals to sharpen their message, structure their presentations, and deliver with clarity, and I said that real slow, clarity, whether they're speaking at an event, leading a meeting, pitching an idea, or just growing their personal brand. And I'm going to add to that, just networking one-on-one with somebody. We always have to make sure that we're speaking clearly and people understand who we are. So with that said, I'm not going to take up the space no more. We're going to have this video. Then after that, we are going to bring on this king and understand what he does for people in the world. And maybe you might be a new client of his. We'll be right back. Hello. If you're just tuning in, you are here at the Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley, and I am here with a wonderful, as I call people in royalty, a king here, King Sebastian. He is here to talk to us about basically understanding how to speak correctly and understand that it's so important when it comes to your visibility, because I told him before in the virtual green room, I said, I understand, Sebastian, because I want people to get the visibility, but it's one thing to get the visibility. It's the other thing to make sure that you're speaking and coming off the right way. And we're going to be talking more about that. So first of all, welcome, Sebastian. I'm so happy for you to be at the Coaches Lounge.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm very excited to be here.
Now, Sebastian, I always like to say this, are you out of the country?
I am. I'm living in Spain currently. This has been my lifelong dream, and I'm getting to the opportunity to live that.
Yes. So now I can say that I have a global king that's on my show. I am global. I get excited. I'm like a little kid like that. I love talking to people all over the country, not just within the United States. So when I have a guest that comes on, I look at it as more like a celebrity type of thing. So thank you
Well,
so much. Thank you for
good
giving
way
me
to think about
that. So Sebastian, I want to, I always start off by really understanding, because like I said, I'm really wanting to get the spotlight for coaches and people that really help other people in the world. So what happened? Like, how did you become this big, huge individual that just does so much for people when it comes to speaking? I know, you do a lot, or you probably in person and also online speaking and do a lot of other things. You probably have books and all that kind of stuff. But before Sebastian got to all that, we need to I want to pull that curtain. So how did you even get into this?
Yeah, let's do it. It's actually the favorite thing for me to talk about is really what it takes to have this kind of breakthrough, right? And I always say you're always just one decision off of the breakthrough necessary to achieve everything you've ever wanted. Mm-hmm. Just one right decision, one angle shift. And for me, it came when I stopped obsessing over profit and started obsessing over purpose. There are two types of entrepreneurs: those who cannot stop thinking about what they can take from people, and those who cannot stop thinking about what they can give to people. For me, I was just dumping money into ads, trying to get my first business to blow up, really just focusing on just making so much money. And it never came to me, right? And I'm a Christian entrepreneur, and I realized that that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to go. I realized that in today's world, everything in the scene of marketing has completely collapsed. Marketing does not work the same way that it used to. And I'm sure you have a lot of people in your audience who are starting their business and feeling like, how do I even do this? How do I grow this? I've dumped money into ads, into Facebook, into this and that, and nothing is really taking me off the ground. Mm-hmm. I'm here to tell you that my breakthrough came when I realized the three biggest problems in the industry, the most expensive things that you need in order to grow a business, are connection, trust, and authority. Yeah. Through sheer, almost a divine intervention, I got invited to speak on a stage, on a church. And this was at a very low point in my life. This was when my first business had completely failed. Both my parents lost their jobs at the same time. I'm 23 years old, by the way. Both my parents lost their jobs at the same time when I was 21. And we're facing the real possibility of homelessness. I had just dumped all my money into ads, got nothing from it. And then someone at my church had invited me to go speak on a stage. Just, again, divine intervention. There's no other explanation. And from that stage, I spoke from the heart. From that stage, I spoke about what I really wanted to change in the world with my business, not what I wanted to take from the world. Mm-hmm. That's passion. That's purpose, not profit. Mm-hmm. And at that very moment, I had that breakthrough that I had spent so long praying for. Mm-hmm. Almost every person in the audience had instantly joined, signed up to my business, and wow, it was like me and my family were saved. For the first time, we finally had this breakthrough. And that's when I discovered that speaking solves all three of those issues at the same time. Building trust, connection, and authority all in one go. And it is the new wave of marketing.
See, I totally understand that because, when you go into it, jumping into it about just money, profit, it gets to a point. It's like, yeah, well, everybody's in that same little bowl right there. And you're all just kind of fighting for whatever. You're paying all this stuff up, like you said, and it's kind of not getting. But see what you did, it was just awesome, and I love what you did. You said, okay, let me get to my heart right now. Let's talk where my purpose is. Let me flow in the way that I need to flow in because I want to help people. I want to, get their gifts out there and help them. And when that happens, the money part's going to, I always tell people the money's going to come automatically when you show your heart, when you show what you believe in, when you use that anchor, because I heard you said you were Christian, right?
Yes, I'm a Christian entrepreneur.
I am a Christian too. And I said, okay, well, let me figure out who's the first here. And the first is God. And after that, everything's going to flow. So
Exactly.
I always tell people, get what anchor, just like Sebastian, he has his anchor. I have mine. We have the same anchor. Some people have different anchors, but whatever it is positive, it has to bring out that purpose in a way where it's not selfishly talking about money, money, money. Because people could feel the energy. I always tell that, Sebastian, people can feel your energy. And they can feel good energy, and they can feel energy like, okay, they're desperate. They want money, money, money. So you're going to attract things that, that you feel and that you put out there. So I'm glad that you switched that.
Right. I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
But I deeply believe that you will never succeed if you're just looking, if you're just looking to take something from people, right? At the end of the day, what I ask all my speakers before I start sending them out on stages is very simple. What change do you want to make in the world? You really have to have that at the heart of everything, right? At the heart of everything is, what change do you want to have in the world? When you speak, what do you want to change in those people's lives? So, for example, my first business was in finance, and I only saw success when I became deeply acquainted with my why. Because now when I speak about it from the heart, and people can actually resonate with it. There's a reason why in the last 10 years, we've seen an explosion in the success of personal brands. People don't care about corporations anymore. They can't connect with a logo, but they can connect with a face. They can connect with a voice, with a passion, with a why, right? So when you're adding and you're intermingling your story with your business and your purpose all in one go, now it's something people can move on. Now it's something people want to take action with, because they're moved at an emotional level, which as human beings, that's the only language that we speak. You can give me numbers, you can give me a sales pitch, you can give me all these things. I don't care. If it doesn't align with what I want emotionally, I'm not going to do anything about it. And again, that's why articulation and speaking is so important, because for the first time ever, you can watch the world move around just your words.
Yes. Powerful. You could tell the passion's there with you. I mean, I could feel it all through this video, and it's amazing. I like how you said SpeakUp Express. So I love the name of your company. Now, I just wanted to kind of add to what you said real quickly before we get into some information that I know you want to share. Is I feel like with telling your story and being real, like you said, saying your why, is that you draw connection to people. When people can connect with either what you're saying or what you did or what you went through, because a lot of times we all go through something similar in certain ways, right? But when people can connect with you like that, it even draws them near to wanting to work with you or talk to you or network with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it also opens up so many doors. It's like, again, and I'll tell you kind of how SpeakUp Express even started, right? I used to have a team of I had at one point 40 one-on-one sales agents that were running sales for my finance business. And man, I mean, if we got lucky, some of them, we'll get lucky enough to close 1 or 2 a month. So it was a lot of arduous labor running one-on-one to do sales here. And it just felt like this never-ending cycle where we weren't really building anything. It's like I had to keep pouring money to this team so they could keep, barely scraping by. And it was just, again, that's not what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is about overabundance. It's about prosperity. And I felt like I was just trapped in the same cycle as I would be at a job. Until, again, that stage. And I realized, well, one stage brought me 3 times the amount of people into my business that the sales team would. So what do I need to be doing? Clearly, one stage is the same as 100 sales calls. It's the same as a networking event, except that everyone is looking at you thinking about what you can do for them or what they can do for you. So you're not only running sales, you're running networking, building a personal brand, building an identity, and getting invited to more stages depending on how successful your speech was. People are there listening to you and wanting to invite you to more events. It's a snowball, right? And that's when I started SpeakUp Express, because I told everyone, the 40 agents I had, I told them, you know what? You're not looking for clients anymore. Now you're looking for events. And that was how the agency was pretty much born.
Wow. I love how you spun that. I mean, you really looked at it a different way. And see, that's what we have to do. That's innovation. That's looking at that vision in a whole nother direction and saying which is really the reason here. and you found out, okay, this ain't working. So what's missing? You know, I always say this too to people. I always, when I'm helping people, I'm like, okay, there's a piece missing here. We need to figure that stuff out. And then once you do that and make that change, you see how things just start, the momentum starts to go. So you've seen that with your salespeople. And I know you were like, okay, this 1-2 a month sales thing is not getting it.
And it's like I always tell people, especially entrepreneurs that are relatively newer into the scene, I always tell them, if you're seeing linear growth, you're doing it wrong, right? You're always one decision away, one angle shift, one perspective change from seeing explosive growth. But if you're not seeing with what you're doing right now, just try a different mine. You know, it's like, imagine, you know, you're digging around one mine and you're not getting anything from it. And then you find another one that's a gold mine, right? Just change where you're digging, change what you're doing. And eventually you will find that one thing that works. And when you do, go all in. Don't let it just fly past you. Find what works and stick to it.
Stick to it. I love that. I love that. I love how you say it, because you know how sometimes you see other people, King, I call you King, that might see, they see something that doesn't work, or you know, they've been working on it for a while and they're like, okay, this is just, you know, it's like I feel like I'm hitting a brick wall. So instead, sometimes they change their whole why and stuff, instead of keeping their why, but changing the tactics or the different ways, like how you did. So you kept your why, you just changed the whole trajectory of a different matter of it. But some people change their whole why. So I know you help people, like you said, with their branding. What would you help a person like that to say, okay, look, it's not so much changing your why, it's just changing the way how you're approaching things?
Well, when I shifted my perspective, when I shifted gears a lot, I always had the same why at the end of the day. I always had the same purpose. And whatever other direction I decided to go into, it was always connected to that, no matter what. When if there's someone listening that is needing to shift gears, go somewhere else, I would say, don't lose vision of what you wanted to do when you started, but now focus your vision on how you're going to really communicate that to the world, how you're going to actually get that across the finish line, right? So again, you can be the same driver and change cars because you need something better, you need something faster, something larger, whatever it is, right? Change vehicles, but don't ever change the pilot, right? Keep yourself, keep your vision, keep your heart, but don't be afraid to try new things, especially if they're going to help you put your purpose further out into the world. One problem I see with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially Christian entrepreneurs, is they focus so much on, I mean, they're so selfless. They have so much heart, right? And it makes them very timid when it comes time to assess their own value. Yeah, they don't ever want to, like, and God bless their souls, they don't ever want to charge anything. They don't ever want to do anything like that. And I'm telling you are working overtime. And you have to realize you're helping so many people, and that's great. But, and here's this is an important thing to realize, you need to position yourself to be able to help even more. And if you're running around this little circle here without being able to assess your own value, you're just going to run yourself dry. And then there was thousands of people left out in the world that you could have helped. It's so important to position yourself, assess your value. Don't be afraid to charge that, because you should know how well you're delivering it, of course.
Oh, I am so glad, Sebastian, you said that, because there are a lot of individuals I talk to and see all the time. You were in my little wheelhouse when you're talking about, you know, you just want to just give. Because I do. I want to just, you know, you just want to help everybody, you know, and you see what some of the issues are with what they're dealing with. You just want to just jump in and say, no, we can do it this way, right? But then then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're still a business. You're not a hobby, and you have to get paid for what you do, right?
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it's like, you know, this is something that's supposed to be changing your life as well, right? Don't forget about you. It's like I always say, and you know, let me speak on this in a non-religious way for everyone. But to put it simply, you can only love others through yourself. You can only provide for others through yourself, right? Otherwise, it's like, imagine you're trying to water a whole garden, but you're dying of thirst. You only have a little cup. And it's how you're supposed to water this whole garden and keep yourself hydrated, and all you have is a little cup, right? No, build a well. Take the time, invest in yourself. While everyone around you is saying, hey, I need help, I need this, I need this. Calm down. If you're not in a position to help other people yet, if you're not in a position to help yourself yet, how do you expect to make a change? Invest in yourself first. Be the well, be the garden for everyone else to come to. It's so important. So I always say the best way to be selfless, take some time to be selfish. Build yourself up, right? Who do you think can give more to charity? I know this is a bit of overkill of an example, but who do you think can give more to charity? Elon Musk or me right now? Obviously, Elon Musk, right? It's a question of building yourself up so you can do more, give more, provide more, right?
That's it.
But it takes time. And it takes also the vision to be able to do it for yourself.
Yeah. See, now I'm glad you talked about, because we're going to go right into some of the items that I know you mentioned, because I want to make sure we do that before we close. Is you talked about building credibility and position you as an expert in your field to you for your visibility. So how do you help people do that?
Well, the main way is we get them out on stages. We build a portfolio. Whether it's an existing speaker or a newer speaker, we strategically find the best events that are going to help them further their career the most, give them the most exposure out there, and have them be a guest on either podcast webinars or a keynote speaker on live in-person stages across the country, or even we're actually expanding to Europe right now as well. So we're actually working on a global level right now. And what that does, for example, you can actually just, I always say this, before social media is a Google search. I guarantee that all my speakers, if you search up their names, you will find them. You can go ahead and search up my name, Sebastian Uzcategui, and you will find only my events. You can literally go to videos and find spoken here. Dr. Philip Mead, another one of our speakers, same deal. Matt Kim, another one of our speakers. And at the end of the day, what that does is it creates a name out in the world that people can now demand. They want you around, right? You have this snowball that's forming, where now you're speaking, doing sales, doing networking, and at the same time, other people are hearing you speak and inviting you out to other stages. Our job is to get that snowball rolling down that hill fast.
That's why SpeakUp Express.
You got it.
I had to throw that in there for you. Yes, there's a reason. I love it. See, because I deal with visibility too, and I deal on a platform like this. Like I have my own home network that I help people brand their brand with their own show, with their own, podcast or TV streaming show. So that's why I said we're in the kind of same vein, because you're helping people get out there quickly and get their name out there, get like the snowball effect. So would you advise people, like when they come into SpeakUp Express, that you help them on stages directly for what they're doing, like their brand, or do you just kind of say, okay, we're just going to get you on some stages right now?
Oh, no. We value the time of our speakers so much. We don't ever want to have them at a stage that there's anything less than their target audience. Otherwise, we're really just wasting time, right? I mean, I can have, imagine having like a AI tech expert speaking at like an Olympic stage, right? Won't make any sense, right? So we want high impact, personally tailored target audiences that are going to be exactly where our speakers need to be.
Yes.
At its core, my philosophy, what I tell all my agents that are finding these events for my speakers, I tell them the same thing every single day. We need to fall in love with the message of our speaker to properly represent them. Yeah. So we've even been able to find some events that are pretty out of the league of some of our speakers at their current stage, simply because we fall in love with them so much that when we speak about them to event organizers, they fall in love too, right? That's what a business based in passion does. Speaking is not just it's not just my method for success. It's not just how I got here. It's also a spiritual thing for me. It's also a divine calling for me. I feel like this is what I'm called to do, change lives. And I'm called to be more than who I once was. I think that's at the core of speaking, is to overcome and then speak about it. I mean, for example, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I actually have a speech impediment. I have a really bad stutter, right? Wow. And that's just one of many obstacles that we overcome throughout our lives, right? As entrepreneurs, our existence is defined by the act of overcoming. Once upon a time, I'm sure you were very shy. I was too. Once upon a time, it probably seemed impossible. Right? It probably seemed impossible for you to do any of these things. Once upon a time, I was lazy, undisciplined, out of shape. And today, I'm no longer chained by what my nature once was. And I'm an entrepreneur can benefit from overcoming the hill that is speaking. And you will see how rewarding it is, how much life will reward you for overcoming that hill.
Wow. Well, anybody that comes into your world and what you do for others, they are going to be so, and I want to say it, they're going to be so blessed and just so enriched with what you do. And you know what, you must be a little prophet too, because you basically just called me out. When you said, yeah, you probably used to be shy. I'm like, oh my God, he's talking my story. He's into my story. Yes, very shy, to the point people call me E.T. And I know you're younger, but yeah, E.T. the alien.
No, I remember E.T. I'm not that young. I wish. I'm not that young. Right now, all my friends call me that. They think I'm old. I'm 23. They think I'm old by their standards.
Really? I don't even want to tell you my age. I'm dust if you're old. Okay. But right. Sebastian, this has been amazing. I would love to even bring you back on, but I know that what you were saying is just really needs to really get in people's mind, because knowing your why, being your true self, being who you are is just so important nowadays. That makes you original. And that's what I was going to ask you too real quickly is originality. What do you kind of say about that? Because I know you said a lot of things, about branding and stuff like that yourself, but being original, how important is that in your mind?
I always go back to one of my favorite philosophers. His name is Seneca, right? He's a Stoic philosopher. And I love this question so much because a lot of people feel like they can't do speaking because they don't have this crazy Oprah story to tell. They don't have this crazy, life story to tell. Being original isn't about being the greatest, being the fastest, being the strongest, being the smartest. Being original is about being the most you, and only you can do that. It doesn't matter whether you're Oprah or not. This philosopher, the reason why I bring him up, Seneca, he's one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, but he actually wasn't the best Stoic out of them all, not even by a long shot. What made him original, though, what made him famous and so well known even today, was that he communicated his philosophy in a way that even the most common people of Rome could understand. So it's not always about having the greatest, most amazing, most thrilling story. Sometimes it's just about having the most articulate delivery, having your own way to speak it. That's it. Being original is just being the most you, and everyone has a you.
Yeah. And, I can't be you and you can't be me. So that makes you original right there.
Exactly.
I mean, we might go to things, do things a certain way, like, the same way, but people can't be I'll tell people I can be a good Barbara J. Beckley, but I can't be a Sebastian because he's him. And that's what makes you amazing. So exactly. Thank you, because a lot of people get caught up in that. And again, they start being in that same pool. And I keep seeing people in this little pool all together. And I'm like, you're different than that. Move from there. You got a brand of your own. Yes.
I see people get stuck in that all the time, that they think that they can't be speakers for that reason. I say, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry to just butt this in. I know we're wrapping up. But the book that I'm writing right now in public speaking is called, I think you're going to appreciate this title, it's called You Are a Genius, But You Sound Like an Idiot. A Guide to Public Speaking. And the reason why I love this title so much is because it starts with the most important thing to remember. You are a genius. And one of the first things I say in this book is to be clear. No, you don't have to be a genius to be a speaker. As a matter of fact, it is in your journey to improve your speaking that you will find the genius that was already inside you all along. Everyone can be a speaker. As a matter of fact, you will unlock your originality. You will unlock your you through that. Because without speaking, and this is a reality for most people that are afraid of it, that use their voice. Imagine this is a whole instrument, and they're only playing the same chord over and over again. They're afraid of it. That's being afraid of so many things about yourself. It's leaving many aspects of your own character undiscovered, even to you. And that's why it's so important to step into your voice.
See, more and more I'm talking to you, just dropping all these gold nuggets out of me. I hate to let you go, but this is yes. You have to understand the genius within you that you don't even realize. I always tell people sometimes even myself, I still have to look back and say, okay, well, I always go to God first and say, God, I know you made me, wonderfully made in you. So that's on my end because that's my anchor. And then from there, God's like, yeah, so now that I made you wonderful, be wonderful. That's what you have to say. He made you, so do what I made you to be. And that's what we had to believe in ourselves, right? Yeah. So
that's the most important thing. Believe that you can do it and do it. Especially
because you have to. I feel like it's a mission for us to do what we need to do, right? Mm-hmm. And then we lose out. But I wanted to say too, before I let you, because I want to give you just a little bit, few seconds to give any lasting thoughts to the audience. But I have to congratulate you because you mentioned about your, impediment. And I'm like, what? I'm looking at you as one of this. I mean, you're just blowing my mind with your speaking. And I would have never, ever, ever, ever knew that. So
yeah.
So with that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Early on, it was actually insecurity. I still get made fun of it sometimes, like by my friends when I stutter really badly. When I'm on stage, I contain it very well. But as a child, I had a pretty bad concussion, and ever since then, I had a really, really bad stutter. It still comes out sometimes. If the audience were to replay this episode, you might catch me stutter. But sometimes I can just get stuck.
You're brilliant. Your wine, your brilliance overrides that. So I'm like, if they heard something, that's on them. I mean, they must be really like.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, especially when I'm not on stage, I can get stuck in the same syllable for quite a bit. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, life is not about succumbing to your nature, which oftentimes we're not born to the people that we want to be. As a matter of fact, we're born with nothing but weeds that we have to clean out to be those people who we want to be.
There you go.
It's about overcoming. That's it. That's the beauty of the journey.
Yeah. And you just keep it moving, keep pushing. I always tell people, don't give up just because. I mean, I always think about, we're talking about Christians, Moses. I mean, you think about people in the Bible that are famous, right? I call them the famous celebrities in the Bible. And a lot of them, all of them, I don't care who they were, had some kind of condition or something, just, they were like, well, I'm not worthy. What's going on here? Why are you going to be picking me? I'm this, I can't talk. I can't be in front of people. And that's why I picked Moses, because he couldn't. He was like, God, you got me out here and I can't speak right. And he led so many people, see, so there it is right there. You can't argue that.
Someone who believes in himself the least ends up making the most change.
There you go. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Because it's a question for the audience.
Yeah. So there's no
what can you do, right?
No excuse. But I'm gonna take myself down. I want you to leave with just one more golden nugget, and then we'll come back, wrap up, and then I'll let people know how they can contact you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, again, I really appreciate this call so much. I think that's the main thing that I really want to leave people off with is never to let your story go unheard, never to let your brilliance die in the dark. Think about how many wonderful people there have been in all of human history that have gone and they've died in silence just because they never could articulate their message. What do you think is happening to your life right now? What do you think is happening to your business right now? You're letting it die in silence. If you're not out there speaking, if you're not out there embodying your passion and your purpose all at the same time on a stage, whether it's online or in person, you're letting your brilliance die in the dark. So my last thing to throw in on this call is more of a call to action. It's more of a call to growth for you to step into your voice. Let the world hear your brilliance. Let the world hear your passion and your business. And you're going to see how life rewards you for that. The breakthrough that you've been waiting for, the exponential growth that is yet to come for you is in the shape of you embodying your voice and your mission. Thanks again for today's call. This was amazing. This is a beautiful, beautiful conversation. And it's been an honor, Barbara.
Oh, no, it's been an honor to me. And I'm putting down, just to let everybody know, this is, I think, your Instagram. It's kind of long, so Sebastian, I want you to kind of give.
You have the link from Google. That's probably why.
Okay, yeah, they just put it in. I'm like, what do they do that for?
The easiest way to contact me they get besides Instagram. Just going to SpeakUp Express, which is SpeakUp.Express, not .com. So SpeakUp.Express would be the easiest way to get in contact with me. You'll see at the bottom of that website, there's actually a link to schedule a direct call with me. And the reason why I've done that is because I actually, again, this is a passion project for me. I want to speak with people directly. I want you to tell me, like, for real, what you're all about, what your obstacles are, what your difficulties are, what your business is about, or what your book is about, or whatever it is that you want to do. I want to know everything front to back. And that's why I do what I do.
Is that correct, Sebastian?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I
Absolutely.
want to make sure we got that on the thing there, because this is all about, I'm just like you. It's all about the visibility, and I want to make sure people get the chance to get directly to Sebastian, because like he said, it's a one-on-one. You do just like me, sir, because I'm the same way. I need to really talk, get to know you, see what what you want to do, because it doesn't make sense. This is not like I always say, a conveyor belt where you just throw things on,
Right.
you just move and keep it moving, making dials or whatever. No, that's not what we do. So that, I mean, if that's the case, I'd be in the construction or whatever, or labor.
Right.
But no, we're in the construction of helping people. And
Exactly. Right. So much more than just that.
and SpeakUp will do that for you. Well, Sebastian, like you're always welcome. Your family now, just to let you know. So if anything pops up, like your book is coming around the corner, if you want to bring other, your other speakers or what have you, please. This is the place where they can get the love. This is the place where they can get the visibility. And the audience that I have, I mean, they're from business owners to entrepreneurs to this is a variety of people. So I know if people listen, the biggest thing, they always want to grow and learn. And I think you being a part of that in their lives. And I'm throwing that out there. Yes, I'm asking people to reach out to this young man and have you on platforms, have you understand how to do presentation and the whole thing of basically speaking. Because I always tell people, speaking is life. Communication is important. Communication is the key. So it's very important to do that. So thank you again, Sebastian. And again, we'll see everybody at the next Coaches Lounge. As I always say, spotlighted experts for advice, for life and in business. And always understand that your voice, your gift counts in this world. Take care.